Welcome to this comprehensive guide on how to AWS Amplify REST API. AWS Amplify is a development platform that helps you build, deploy, and manage scalable mobile and web applications. In this tutorial, we will walk you through the process of creating and using a REST API with AWS Amplify. First, you need to set up an AWS Amplify project. To do this, you will need to install the AWS Amplify CLI and initialize a new project. The AWS Amplify CLI provides a set of tools and features that make it easy to build and deploy scalable applications. Next, you need to create a REST API. To do this, you will use the AWS Amplify API category, which provides a set of tools and features for building and managing REST APIs. You will need to define the API endpoint, the HTTP method, and the request and response data types. Once you have defined the API, you can use the AWS Amplify CLI to create the API and deploy it to AWS. The API will be deployed to Amazon API Gateway, which provides a scalable and secure way to manage API traffic. To use the REST API, you will need to make an HTTP request to the API endpoint. You can use a tool like Postman or curl to make the request. You will need to provide the API key or authentication token in the request headers. Best practices for using AWS Amplify REST API include using a secure connection, validating user input, and handling errors and exceptions. You should also use a versioning system to manage changes to the API over time. In conclusion, AWS Amplify REST API provides a powerful and scalable way to build and deploy REST APIs. By following the steps outlined in this tutorial, you can create and use a REST API with AWS Amplify. Remember to follow best practices for security, validation, and error handling to ensure that your API is secure and reliable.